Archimedes' principle states that a body wholly or partially immersed in a fluid experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced. What does this mean? What this means is that whenever a body is immersed in a liquid, the body experiences an upward force called upthrust or buoyant force. Understood? The magnitude of this force is equal to the weight of the liquid that has been displaced by the solid. Understood? So the net force upwards that acts on the body is equal to the volume of the body immersed in the liquid into the density of the liquid into G. Understood? It is the weight of the liquid occupied by the volume of the liquid that has been displaced because of the solid. So let's say there's this solid which has a density rho s. The volume of this solid immersed inside the liquid is Vi. The total volume of the solid is V. The volume that is not immersed in the liquid is V minus Vi. The density of the liquid is rho L. So what will be the upthrust on this solid? The upthrust will be the weight of the liquid displaced by the solid. How much liquid will this solid displace? Clearly, it will displace a volume of liquid equal to its immersed volume, isn't it? So it will displace a volume Vi. After all, Vi volume of the solid is immersed in the liquid. What is the weight of Vi volume of the liquid? It is density of the liquid into Vi into G. So the net upthrust on this body is rho L into Vi into G. That's how we calculate upthrust. Upthrust acts at the center point of the volume of the solid that is immersed in the liquid. Understood? So this point is the center point here. So upthrust acts here. Understood? This point is also called the center of buoyancy. The upthrust is the buoyant force. The center of buoyancy is the center of mass of the immersed part of the solid in the liquid. Understood? On the other hand, the weight of the body does not act at this point. It acts at the center of mass of the body. So you must remember these 2 points, that the weight acts at the center of mass, but the upthrust acts at the center of buoyancy. Now, how does floating and sinking occur? When does a body float in a liquid? When does it sink in a liquid? Let us first try to find out the net forces which are acting on a body which is immersed in the liquid. Of course, the upthrust acts upwards at the center of buoyancy. In this case, the upthrust is rho L into Vi into G, density of liquid into volume of solid immersed in the liquid into G. The weight of the body is rho S into V into G, isn't it? That is density of the solid into volume of the entire solid into G. These forces must be equal, isn't it, in the case of equilibrium? Now, take this case when a body is just floating. Understood? That is, its entire surface is immersed in the liquid. In this case, V immersed and V total are one and the same because the entire body is immersed in the liquid, isn't it? The upthrust will be rho L into V into G and the weight will be density of the solid into V into G, isn't it? If the body floats in this condition, then rho S equal to rho L. That is, density of the liquid is density of the solid. So if a body floats such that it is entirely immersed in the liquid but it is floating, in that case the density of the liquid and the density of the solid are one and the same. If on the other hand the density of the solid is less than the density of the liquid, what will happen in that case? In that case, even if a part of the solid is immersed in the liquid, the weight of water displaced, the weight of the liquid displaced will be equal to the weight of the entire body because the density of the liquid is more, isn't it? So rho L into Vi into G will be equal to rho S into V into G. Even if a part of the solid is immersed in the liquid, in which case, in the case when the density of the liquid is higher than the density of the solid, isn't it? So when rho L greater than rho S, in that case only a part of the solid is immersed in the liquid because the weight of the liquid of the volume of the solid displaced is enough to balance the entire weight of the solid. Understood? In the case when rho L is less than rho S, that is the density of the liquid is less than the density of the solid sinks. So when the density of the solid is greater than the density of the liquid, the solid sinks. This is because in this case, even when the entire solid is immersed in the liquid, the weight of the solid is so large that it is greater than the entire weight of all the volume displaced by the solid. Even if the entire volume of the solid is displaced, the weight of the liquid displaced is not enough to balance the weight of the solid. So the solid has a net unbalanced force on it, and it keeps on going down and it sinks. So these are the different conditions related to floating and not floating. Let's solve a problem that was asked in IIT JEE 1988. A vessel contains oil, density 0.8 gram per centimeter cube, over mercury, density 13.6 gram per centimeter cube. A homogeneous sphere floats with half its volume immersed in mercury and half in oil. What is the density of the material of the sphere? So this is quite a tricky question. After all, there are two liquids involved here. What is happening? Basically, there is this sphere as shown in the figure. There is oil above the sphere and there is mercury below the sphere, isn't it? The sphere floats such that half of its volume is immersed in oil and half is immersed in mercury. We have to calculate the density of the sphere. How do we do that? We equate the net force on the sphere to 0. The net force on the sphere will be equal to the weight of the sphere minus the upthrust because of oil minus the upthrust because of mercury. After all, only three forces are acting on the sphere: weight, upthrust of oil and upthrust of mercury. The weight of the sphere is V, the volume of the sphere, into density of the sphere into G. The upthrust due to mercury is the volume of the mercury displaced by the sphere, that is V by 2, isn't it? Because half of the sphere is immersed in mercury, into rho mercury into G. The upthrust due to oil is volume of the oil displaced by the sphere, that is V by 2, into density of oil, rho oil into G. V cancels off in this expression. On simplifying this expression, we get the value of the density of the sphere as 7.2 gram per centimeter cube. There you go. That's our answer. Of course, to solve more problems like this and to get more explanations related to this problem, you can always log on to topcoaching.com's physics section. Here's another example problem, and this one was asked in IIT JEE 1984. A wooden plank of length 1 meter and uniform cross section is hinged at one end to the bottom of a tank as shown in the figure. The tank is filled with water up to a height 0.5 meters. The specific gravity of the plank is 0.5. Find the angle theta that the plank makes with the vertical in the equilibrium position. This is the figure given along with the question. As you can see, there is this wooden rod or wooden plank that is hinged at this end. One end of this jar. The length of the plank is 1 meter. The length of the liquid is 0.5 meters. We have to calculate the angle theta that this plank makes with the vertical in equilibrium.